Hello everyone, so today we'll be solving this question related to permutation. So the question is, if p bracket r comma 5 is to p bracket r plus 2 comma 5 is equal to 7 is to 22, find the value of r. So let's recall the formula of permutation. So if you have something like this, the formula is n factorial by n minus r factorial. And in permutation, the order of the objects matter. In combination, it is not. So let's represent this question in form of division. After all, the proportion sign is simply division. You can understand it that way for this question. So is equal to that. Now let's apply the formula that we just recalled. So it will be r factorial divided by r minus 5 factorial whole divided by r plus 2 factorial divided by r plus 2 minus 5 factorial is equal to 7 over 22. To make this a little simpler, let's rearrange them. So what we can do is r minus 5 factorial times r minus 3 plus 2 minus 5 is minus 3 over r plus 2 factorial is equal to 7 over 22. So over here, what we'll try to do is eliminate the factorial symbol, because we don't know what r factorial is, the exact value. If it were a number, like let's say 5 factorial, we could write it as 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. But we don't know what r factorial is. So let's try and remove the factorial sign. And before doing that, I'd like you to recall another concept. So if you have n factorial, it can be written as n times n minus 1 factorial. And again, n minus 1 factorial can be written as n minus 1 factorial times n minus 1. I'll give you an example. If this is complex, I'll give you a numeric example. So let's say you have 4 factorial, right? You can write it as 4 times 4 minus 1 factorial. That would give you 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So that's what I was talking about. So let's use this concept and solve this question. So r factorial by r minus 5 factorial times, let's change this r minus 3 factorial. So let's write it as r minus 3 times r minus 3 minus 1 would give us r minus 4, and would give us this. Now let's not even keep this, let's change it. So let's remove this factorial sign and let's change it to r minus 5 factorial. Now let's look into the denominator. Let's change it to this. Now why I did that is this cancels this and this cancels this. So we got rid of the factorial sign, and this is equal to 7 over 22. So now it's just simple algebraic multiplication. Let's go to the next page, and what we will get, and let's cross multiply as well. Okay. So it would be 20. What happened? Yeah, okay. Okay, so 22 r minus 3 r minus 4 is equal to, all we did was cross multiply, you don't have to worry, 7 times r plus 2 and r plus 1. Now let's multiply them with each other. What we get is 22. If this multiplies this, we get r square minus 4r minus 3r plus 12 is equal to 7 r square plus r plus 2 plus 2r. Yeah. So another line. So if you multiply the numbers, we get 22r square minus 154r plus 264 is equal to 7r square plus 14 plus 21r. And if you rearrange them and do further calculation, finally you get a quadratic equation. That is 15r square minus 175r plus 250 is equal to 0. And if you find out the value of r, you get two values. Let's write it properly. R is equal to either 10 or 5 over 3. Now, there's only one correct answer, and the correct one is 10, because if you use 5 over 3 as the value, look over here. 5 over 3 is something like 1.6. 1.6 minus 5 factorial will give you a negative number, and the negative numbers factorial is not a real number. It's a complex number, so we are not going to deal with complex number here. So the correct value is 10 and not 5 over 3. So therefore the correct answer simply is 10. So simple question, not very difficult. I hope you learned how to do this, and yeah, I hope to see you in my next videos. Thank you.